Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your leadership over these last number of months. I want to extend my appreciation to colleagues for the deliberation and for residents for their engagement over the last few weeks. Because determining the $6.3 billion operating budget really has, among all things, been an exercise in fiscal discipline. With the support of our federal and state partners, we've created a fiscal document that I think reflects the needs of residents today and the needs of our residents into the future, while most importantly, maintaining our current tax rate. And so this really is a budget that truly benefits all of our residents. And this budget includes a record level of education funding, nearly $3 billion for MCPS and more than $300 million for Montgomery College, recognizing that our youth are our future and we need to invest in them. But the investment is also a signal to students and to their parents that education is a child's path to success, but it also, this budget sets us on a trajectory to enact the blueprint for Maryland's future in the coming years. And when youth succeed in the classroom, we also want them to continue to succeed in our community. And that's why I was proud to lead the expansion of the MCPD's cadet program, which gives local college students the opportunity to serve their community by providing firsthand experience with the police force. And I appreciate my colleagues' support of that expansion, because the cadet program reflects the diversity of Montgomery County, which is home to 4 of the 10 most diverse communities in the country. And of the 15 participants in this program in the year 2020, 5 were Latino, 4 were Black, 2 were Asian American, which is nearly a 75% diversity rate. And that is a complement to the police department as a whole, which is approximately 75% white. And this program has been an effective tool in recruitment and providing a diverse pool of candidates to help protect and serve the residents of Montgomery County. And so I know that this will move us in a direction of meeting our public safety goals and also preparing the next generation to serve the community that they grew up in. Because at the end of the day, this is the true definition of community policing. And the word community is actually my favorite word. I've said that before, I say it often, and it has been my focus throughout this budget, the word community, ensuring that our community remains healthy and safe, and ensuring that we continue to support growing families and provide direct assistance to them. You know, we've all heard from residents, not only here in our community, across the state and across the country, about the shortage of baby formula and the increased cost of diapers due to inflation. And I'm proud that we are supporting the DC Diaper Bank by allocating additional funding to help low-income families get the food, get the diapers, and get the baby supplies that they desperately need. And this initiative is a reflection of the lessons we've learned during the pandemic, and one that we cannot forget as we enter the new normal. This pandemic has also exposed the inequities that many of us knew have existed for years. And I'm proud that we have funded an expansion of the African American Health Program, the Latino Health Initiative, and the Asian American Health Initiative, because expanding access to healthcare at the barbershop and in the community is the best way to make our community feel safe. These are the anchor programs throughout Montgomery County's most vulnerable communities, and I think they are among the most valuable and important programs that we in county government have. Another one of my priorities during this budget process is to ensure that our most vulnerable are safe, healthy, and housed. And as the council's lead on homelessness in vulnerable communities, I've joined my colleagues, particularly the ones on the HHS committee, to support our services to end and prevent homelessness and to redouble our commitment. I'll say that again, redouble our commitment to working with nonprofit and social service providers during this time of rising costs and fiscal uncertainty, making sure that they have the support that they need moving forward. This budget also reflects our commitment to making sure that homelessness is rare, brief, and non-recurring. It is also a commitment to making sure that housing stability is here for residents in need, and making sure that the families who are experiencing or are at risk of experiencing homelessness have the support systems in place. We have allocated $3 million, an additional $3 million for the rental assistance program, which will provide approximately 800 permanent shallow housing subsidies. One of my top priorities during this budget was to build off the success of the Kids Ride Free program by extending free ride-on access to every resident who needs it here in Montgomery County. Due to fiscal constraints, we were not able to make buses completely free in this budget, but we collectively, with the county executive, were able to lower fares to $1, half the cost of the pre-pandemic level of $2 a ride. And so while $1 is not free, it does make progress and moves us in the direction to achieving true transit equity for all riders in our community. And public transit is a public good. And I plan to continue this effort in the years ahead to make our buses free for everybody in the county. And as we work to improve our transportation networks, we also have to improve road safety. And the capital improvement budget, which we also approve, contains more than $400 million to advance our pedestrian, bicycle, and road improvements, moving us one step closer to achieving our Vision Zero goals. And this investment is so critically important. Since January 1st of this year, more than 175 residents have been hit on our roadways, and 6 people have been killed. It's tragic, and it's preventable. And this funding will make our roads safer for pedestrians, for bicyclists, for drivers, for everyone. And as a former nonprofit executive, I know all too well the increased costs and demands in our nonprofit sector, and collectively the 8% cost of living that we have provided to that sector is so incredibly important. It's overdue and it's necessary because nonprofits are facing staffing shortages that the larger community, larger sector is as well. And we need to make sure that our social safety net remains strong. And the best way to do that is to make sure that we have people holding that social safety net and are gainfully employed within the sector. And so in summary, this budget does a lot of good. But there's still a lot more work ahead of us to make sure that Montgomery County is an even more fair and equitable place for every single resident. And so that conversation will continue, but for now, I believe this budget moves us in that direction. It is fiscally sustainable, and it puts vulnerable communities first, and we should all be proud. Thank you, Mr. President.